Hey, what's going on? My name is Heaton, and today I'm going to be taking the political compass quiz just to kind of see where I am on the political spectrum. If you guys like politics, then you'll probably like this video. If you don't, then you might not like it. But in any case, I would really love a like and a subscription. Okay. Economic globalization is inevitable. It should primarily serve humanity rather than the interests of transnational corporations. Well, yeah, obviously. What would I rather have a society where it serves transnational corporations over humanity? No, that doesn't make sense. It just seems like too strongly worded of a question. I'd always love my country whether it was right or wrong. No. If my country's right about something, then I'm going to give them praise, but if they're wrong about something, then I'm not going to give them praise. So I care about what's right or wrong, regardless of whether my country supports it. No one chooses their country of birth, so it's foolish to be proud of it. Depends why. If you're proud of your country simply because it's your country and that's where you were born into, then that's probably a dumb reason to be proud of it. But if your country has good policy positions, then yeah, I mean, like say your country has universal health care, which I do support, then I would be proud of my country for supporting that. So, depends on the reason why you're proud of your country, I guess. I'm just gonna go ahead and put disagree. Our race has many superior qualities compared with other races. Nope. Get out of here with that shit. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Sometimes, but not necessarily. Sometimes the enemy of your enemy is still your enemy. So I'm gonna go ahead and put disagree with that. Military action that defies international law is sometimes justified. I could think of a situation where it would be justified, but generally speaking, no. Especially because I live in the United States and we're constantly going against international law. So I'm going to go ahead and put disagree with that. There is now a worrying fusion of information and entertainment. I would say that there is. Yeah. People are ultimately divided more by class than by nationality. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't matter what ethnicity you are, what nationality you are. If you're in the lower class, then you are not getting anything compared to what the upper class is getting. Doesn't matter what race you are. If you're in the top 1%, then you're set for life pretty much. Controlling inflation is more important than controlling unemployment. Um, I'm not sure. I don't think so. Well, I wouldn't say it's more important. It could be equally important, so I guess I'll just put disagree. Because corporations cannot be trusted to voluntarily protect the environment, they require regulations. Yep. The whole point of a corporation is to make as much money as you possibly can. That's it. So if there's regulation, then that's good because they're not going to do it on their own. You need basically a corporation would need to be forced to protect the environment because they're just gonna they're just gonna they're not gonna care about the environment. They're just trying to make as much profit as they can. From each according to his ability to each according to his need is a fundamentally good idea. Okay, so this is an idea popularized by Karl Marx. I don't know, I guess this means you work as hard as you can according to your ability, and you only take what you need. I guess in a perfect society, I would agree, but we don't live in a perfect society. People that work extremely hard are going to expect to get a little bit more out of that than the typical individual. So in a perfect society, I guess I'd put agree, but I'll just have to disagree for now. The freer the market, the freer the people. Nope. You need regulation. It's a sad reflection on our society that something as basic as drinking water is now bottled, branded consumer product. Yep. Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. Something very basic like water, that just seems like it should be something guaranteed. You can't live without water, so yeah, no. Land shouldn't be a commodity to be bought and sold. Um, no, I disagree with this. You should be able to buy land. It is regrettable that many personal fortunes are made by people who simply manipulate money and contribute nothing to society. Yep, yep. Too many times have people screwed with the stock market, made a crap ton of money, and then out of nowhere, they'll lose all the money and they'll come to the government and ask them to bail them out. Nope. Strongly agree with that. Protectionism is sometimes necessary in trade. Yeah. Sometimes it is, yeah. I mean, ideally, we would be able to have free trade where people could just trade whatever they wanted to, but you have corporations that are exploiting the fact that you can go to countries like Malaysia, you can pay somebody a crap wage to make goods for really cheap, and then you have them bring it to America and sell those goods for a high price. So why make a company in America and employ people in America when you can just go to Malaysia and you can take advantage of them for basically slave labor? So yeah, I mean sometimes you do need protectionism. The only social responsibility of a company should be to deliver a profit to its shareholders. That's what they're going to do, but it shouldn't be. So I guess I'll disagree with that. The rich are too highly taxed. Nope. Everybody talks about the high tax rate on the rich, and that's only the yeah, no, just because the tax rate is high doesn't mean that's what they're actually paying. There's a difference between a nominal tax rate and an effective tax rate. The nominal tax rate might be high, but effectively they're not paying anything. Those with the ability to pay should have access to higher standards of medical care. No. Nope. If there's one thing that should be guaranteed, it's healthcare. If you're not healthy, then I mean, what else? You live in America, so assumingly you'd have a good healthcare system. That's the most basic thing that you should ensure to all of your citizens is just the right to be healthy. Pursuit of life, liberty, and happiness. There you go. Government should penalize businesses that mislead the public. Yes. A genuine free market requires restrictions on the ability of predator multinationals to create monopolies. Yeah, of course. Yeah, if you have a completely free market, then monopolies will just naturally arise. Yeah, so you need some kind of restrictions to prevent that from happening. Abortion, when the woman's life is not threatened, should always be illegal. No, I disagree with this. I think the right is ultimately left up to the mother. I don't like the idea of a woman being 7, 8 months pregnant, maybe even 9 months pregnant, and she wants to get an abortion at the last second. That doesn't seem right to me. But at the same time, who am I to deny the woman her right to get an abortion? I mean, she could just go out into a back alley and get an abortion like that. So, yeah, no, like if a woman wants an abortion, she will get one, regardless. So I want it to be as safe as possible. So I'm going to disagree with this. All authority should be questioned. Yes. Yeah, of course. An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. No, not necessarily. What is it? An eye for an eye makes the whole world blind? Yeah, it's just one person shoots at somebody, they shoot back, and then they shoot back at them. It's just a never-ending cycle. You have to break it at some point. Taxpayers should not be expected to prop up any theaters or museums that cannot survive on a commercial basis. Um, I'm gonna have to disagree with this one, just because I think theaters and museums are important. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and disagree with that one. That was kind of a hard one. Schools should not make classroom attendance compulsory. No, I disagree with this. Education is very important. Nobody wants to go to school when they're young. You have to get a basic sense of education. All people have their rights, but it is better for all of us that different sorts of people should keep to their own kind. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What is this? All people have their rights, but it is better for all of us that it is better for all of us that different sorts of people should keep to their own kind. Strongly disagree. What is that? Xenophobic. All right. Good parents sometimes have to spank their children. No. Nope. If you spank your kid, it may elicit an immediate response where, yeah, you might spank your kid and they might not do what you want them to do, but are they really learning a lesson? Or are they learning to just not do something, or else you're going to spank them? So maybe in the short term, you might convince them to not do something that you don't agree with, but in the long term, they're not going to know the reason why. It's going to make them more aggressive in the long run. Yeah, no, disagree. It's much better to teach your kids critical thinking and to explain to them why something is wrong and why they shouldn't do it. It's natural for children to keep some secrets from their parents. Well, from a kid's point of view, yeah. From a parent would probably disagree with that. A parent would probably just say, "No, I would disagree with that because you can come to me for anything." But I mean, kids are individuals too, so they have the right to keep some secrets from them. You know, you should talk to your parents and discuss with them things. But yeah, no, everybody's gonna have something that they're not gonna tell people. Like it's not like if you have sex for the first time, you're not gonna, where are you gonna go home and tell your parent about it? I mean, maybe, maybe not. You don't have to. There's no reason to, I guess. Yeah, some secrets, yeah. Possessing marijuana for personal use should not be a criminal offense. Strongly agree. It's up to the right of the individual whether or not they want to use a drug, not just including marijuana, any kind of drug. It's up to the individual to decide whether or not they want to use it. And I don't agree with strong drugs being legalized like methamphetamine or heroin, but things like maybe Adderall or something, something like that over the counter, that seems reasonable to me. I don't see why you should prevent people from consuming substances. They could just do it anyways if they wanted to. The prime function of schooling should be to equip the future generation to find jobs. No, I disagree with this because sometimes jobs, it just depends. Yeah, no, I would disagree with this. Sometimes education is good in its own right. So you don't necessarily need to like train somebody to be prepared for a future job. I think that people should pursue their dreams and the job market should conform to that. So I don't think it should go this way. I think it should go the other way around. You should Kids should be able to go to school for what they want to go to school for, and then the market should accommodate for that. People with serious inheritable disabilities should not be allowed to reproduce. What? How are you going to prevent somebody from reproducing? That's that's an individual thing. You can't. What are you going to have some government official come in and tell somebody with an inheritable disability to not reproduce? No. Yeah, no. That's ridiculous. People could do whatever they want. I'm sure if somebody had an inheritable disability, then they would probably think about whether or not they wanted to reproduce. They may decide to, they may not decide to. But that's a personal decision. You can't have the government come in and decide that. That's ridiculous. The most important thing for children is to learn to accept discipline. No. Most important thing for children to learn is to think for themselves. Discipline can be important, but it's also important, just like a previous question I answered, to question authority. There are no savage and civilized peoples, there are only different cultures. Yeah, I kind of agree with this because everybody is kind of a combination of savage and civilized. Everybody has a part of themselves that's, I don't want to say dark, but everybody kind of has like a, like everybody kind of has like a dark side of themselves, and everybody kind of has a civilized side to themselves. Like you're not going to act the same way in person, like maybe at a supermarket, as you're going to act in front of your friends. Like, no, no, I mean, yeah, there are no savage and civilized peoples. There are only different cultures. Yeah, people are a combination of things. And even if I were to agree that there are savage and civilized peoples, what are you going to do? Are you going to send the government in to change their positions? Like, are you going to start a war or something? What do you, no. Those who are able to work and refuse the opportunity should not expect society's support. No, I disagree with this. I think just the fact that you're an American citizen means that you automatically have kind of like this baseline support. I don't think it should be a lot. I mean, I don't think like every able person that can work but doesn't want to, they shouldn't get a mansion, but they should get like this baseline support. Yeah, no. When you are troubled, it's better not to think about it, but to keep busy with more cheerful things. It's important to think about what's troubling you and hopefully change it. But in the long run, yeah, it's probably better to just keep busy with more cheerful things. Yeah. First generation immigrants can never be fully integrated within their new country. Disagree. Nope. Of course they can. Why not? They might not be able to, but yeah, they sure can if they want to. What's good for the most successful corporations is always ultimately good for us. That's funny. Nope. No, what's good for the most successful corporations is what's good for the most successful corporations. No, they support their own interests, whether or not it helps all of us, or yeah, whether or not it helps all of us. No. No broadcasting institution, however independent its content, should receive public funding. No, I disagree with this. No. Yeah, however independent its content. Yeah, no, if the content's independent and it's objective, then yeah, it could receive public funding. I don't see why that would be an issue. Our civil liberties are being excessively curbed in the name of counterterrorism. Yes, that's just a given. Come on, NSA, the Patriot Act. Yeah, strongly agree. A significant advantage of a one-party state is that it avoids all the arguments that delay progress in a democratic political system. Well, I mean, that's an advantage, but it doesn't outweigh the negatives. So no, no, no. It's more important that you have a democratic system because then you can discuss ideas. You might be able to get something done quicker in like an authoritarian dictatorship, a one-party state, but that doesn't mean what you're going to get done is good. So no. Although the electronic age makes official surveillance easier, only wrongdoers need to be worried. Nope. The government's been known to spy on everybody, not just terrorists. Literally everybody. The death penalty should be an option for the most serious crimes. I don't know about this one. In principle, I'm not necessarily against the death penalty, but somebody innocent is killed I mean, basically, it's just a matter of time before somebody innocent is killed. And I don't think the government should have the power to kill somebody, even if they're guilty. Because what if they're not guilty? Are you going to give the government the right? Are you? I mean, if you give the government the right to decide over the life of somebody, then what can they not do? At that point, that just opens up a huge door. Death penalty should be an option for the most serious crimes. Nope. I'm not going to give the government the right to decide whether somebody lives or dies. In a civilized society, one must always have people above to be obeyed and people below to be commanded. No, no, not necessarily. Abstract art that doesn't represent anything shouldn't be considered art at all. I want to agree with this just because, I mean, art should represent something, right? But it's not really up to me to decide what somebody considers as art. I mean, if somebody finds something and considers it as art, then who am I to disagree with them? Yeah, I'll just put disagree. In a criminal justice, punishment should be more important than rehabilitation. No, no. You should always try to rehabilitate first. A majority of people will be helped with rehabilitation. It's a waste of time to try to rehabilitate some criminals. Now this one's interesting because it kind of goes hand in hand with the previous question. It is a waste of time to try to rehabilitate some criminals. Some criminals are born as psychopaths or sociopaths, especially psychopaths. They don't have the ability to feel empathy. They kill because they like it or because they just simply can't tell the difference between right and wrong. So, yeah, there are some people that just are beyond help. That is true. As much as I'd like to believe that everybody can be helped through rehabilitation, there are some people that can't. The business person and the manufacturer are more important than the writer and the artist. No. I mean, I wouldn't say one or the other is more important. I'd say they're both equally important, right? I mean, the writer and the artist come up with the idea, and the business person, the manufacturer, distribute that idea. The business person and the manufacturer are more important. Well, they're not more important. No, I would disagree. I would say they're about equally important. I would put neutral if there was one, but no. Mothers may have careers, but their first duty is to be homemakers. Nope. Their duty is whatever their duty is, whatever they want their duty to be. I don't think all dads should be working and all moms should be staying at home. It should be a combination of both, and people have aspirations. So, like, no, this is an individualist question. Mothers may have careers, but their first duty is to be homemakers. Disagree. First duty their duty is whatever their duty is. Multinational companies are unethically exploiting the plant genetic resources of developing countries. I don't know. I mean, probably. I mean, I could think of Monsanto probably doing that. Yeah. I'm guessing they're talking about Monsanto, so I'll just put agree. Making peace with the establishment is an important aspect of maturity. Disagree. Question the establishment always. That's why they're called the establishment. I think this one's going to be an easy one. Astrology accurately explains many things. No. Astrology is pseudoscience. Nope. You cannot be moral without being religious. Strongly disagree. Religion does not have a monopoly on morality. Morality has existed long before religion has. It's much more morality is much more complex than that. It has to do with societal issues, it has to do with cultures. It's such a complex issue. Charity is better than social security as a means of helping the genuinely disadvantaged. I'm not against the idea of charity. but I think that we should have a systemic approach to this. Charity is better than Social Security. No. I'm not against the idea of charity, but no, it's not better than Social Security. So Social Security is a systemic approach, which I think is a better way to go about it. Some people are naturally unlucky. I mean, everybody's born equal according to the Constitution, so but I mean, but some people may be born with disabilities and it could prevent them from interacting with certain aspects of society, I guess. I mean, I don't know. Some people are naturally unlucky. I'll just put agree. Yeah. Some people may be born more unlucky than others, more unable to voice their opinion. Or you could be born in poverty. You could be born in straight up poverty and just you did say you grew up in poverty and you don't even know how to contribute to your political system. Well, then, yeah, you're extremely disadvantaged because you're able to contribute, but you don't even know, you're not even educated enough to know how you're going to contribute. I guess I'll just put agree. It is important that my child's school instills religious values. Strongly disagree. I'm not against schools teaching about different types of religions, but to instill a certain religious value, no, that's disgusting. Which value? The Judeo-Christian values? Islamic values? Which one? Sex outside marriage is usually immoral. Nope. Sex is sex. It's part of it's part of the human condition. People have sex. That's it. Sex is a given. Marriage is a societal construct. A same-sex couple in a stable, loving relationship should not be excluded from the possibility of child adoption. Well, yeah, of course not. Are you going to discriminate against same-sex couples? No. If they're in a stable, loving relationship, that's the most important part. You want kids to be raised by stable, loving people. It doesn't matter whether they're a same-sex couple or not. That's ridiculous. Pornography depicting consenting adults should be legal for the adult population. Well, yeah, of course. I mean, people have the right to get naked and have sex on camera, and then other people can watch it. I mean, what more is there to it? I don't understand. Yeah, it should be legal. How would you even go about banning this? I don't even understand. I mean, and everybody watches porn too, so I don't, come on. What goes on in a private bedroom between consenting adults is no business of the state. Yeah. What are you gonna have you gonna have somebody from the government standing in the bedroom just waiting like, "Oh, you're not having sex with the right person, not in the right position. They're not of the right race." Like, no. No, this is a private this is private. That's their own business. No one can feel naturally homosexual. Disagree. I feel naturally heterosexual, so why can't I assume that other people feel naturally homosexual? I'm sure that it's a combination of genetics and environment, but yeah, no. And people that are homosexual will generally realize it at an extremely young age, too, much younger than you would expect. These days, openness about sex has gone too far. Nope. No. Sex is a part of the human condition. Sex is fine. I don't understand this whole like traditional against sex thing. It doesn't make sense to me. Okay. I think that's the last one. Okay. So this is the compass. It rates you on the economic scale from left to right. and the social scale from libertarian to authoritarian. So let's see where I'm at. Okay, so I'm solidly in this green area right here. So I'm libertarian in the sense that I believe people have the right to do what they want to. I believe strongly in individual rights. That's the most important thing to me, is that individuals are able to do what they want to do. But the country has many issues. So how do we solve those issues? Through systemic means. I don't believe that the free market has been able to do that. So I think that using systemic means to address the ills in society is a good thing. So yeah, so I'm left in that sense, but I'm also libertarian. I don't know exactly how far down I am in here. I know there's a bunch of different ideologies that kind of encompass this area down here. There's social democracy, there's democratic socialism, there's anarchism, there's communism, there's all sorts of different things in this area. But all I know from this quiz is that I'm in the left and I'm libertarian. So there it is. All right. Hopefully you guys were interested by this video. If not, I'm very sorry, but it is a political compass video, so what else do you expect? If you guys like this, please like and subscribe. Really appreciate it. See you guys.